Hello, and welcome to Cantina Reviews. I'm Brooks.
I'm Joe.
And this is another episode of Cantina Reviews.
Today we're ranking the Star Wars movies best to worst, or worst to best, or like middle to outer middle. So yeah, let's just get right into this.
Actually, I just want to say right beforehand, most of the middle of the list, at least for me, it's not like real, like from movie 3 to 6, it was kind of just where movies fell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's not necessarily not like with all of them, a huge gap.
Yeah, it's like for me, it was 1 and 2, and then 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Everything in the middle was just where it fell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I had some thought, but just so you know, people don't tear us apart.
Yeah, in no way.
So all 5 viewers.
Your ranking is good too.
Yeah.
Unless Phantom Menace is 1. So anyway, number 8.
Yeah, the worst.
The worst for me is Attack of the Clones.
And the worst for me was Phantom Menace.
My deal with Attack of the Clones is I just feel like nothing happens in that movie at all of any consequence. I kind of like the Obi-Wan stuff, and just basically when he fights Jango Fett and is going through the asteroid field. Otherwise, the whole Anakin Padme BS romance was so boring.
It was terrible.
And then when you finally
it was long, it didn't end.
You finally get to something interesting. I like when they fight the monster things in the Coliseum. That's awesome.
Well, because then that opens up into the Jedi show up to save them.
But then it's over so quick before it even started. I'm not a fan of Yoda doing backflips and shit, and I don't think that was necessary to fight Dooku. I don't care about Count Dooku at all. Darth Maul was at least kind of a cool villain, but Dooku was
yeah. So for me, Phantom Menace, I will say Darth Maul definitely saved it. Not from being last, from being completely just written off the list. Phantom Menace, it was just boring for me. I don't know. I guess I just didn't have the intellectual capability to delve into why the banking clan is blocking trade.
Yeah, I could not quite discern the space politics.
Yeah, and I didn't like that I had to, and that's why I didn't like Phantom Menace. I feel like most of the Star Wars, you kind of sit down, this is what's happening. Yeah. In Phantom Menace, it's like they're trying way too hard to establish what is happening and why, and throughout the movie, it's just always just drawn out stuff, and it's get to the end.
For me, I have Phantom Menace at 7. Basically,
not too far.
Probably because Darth Maul is cooler than Dooku.
Yeah.
I really like the music in Episode 1. I like the ships, the Naboo fighters. The yellow ones. Not much else. It is pretty drawn out. That whole middle part where they're finally off of Tatooine and they're back on Naboo, but before the battle. Yeah. I forgot about that. When I watched it a year ago, because I hadn't watched it in so long, and I was that was 45 minutes of literally nothing. When Padme is looking out the window and Palpatine is behind her just talking and it was weird.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
For me, 7 is ROTS. Because it was a rotten movie.
Oh, okay.
Revenge of the Sith. I don't know, it was good. It had good emotional differences. You could tell when there was a dark part. You could tell when they were fighting. It was intense.
Yeah.
But nothing happened. He turned bad. He killed Mace Windu. Yeah. They fought it out and he became Darth Vader in the end. But what really happened? At least it wasn't as bad as me trying to discern what is happening, Right. It's this is what's happening.
Yeah.
But what was happening wasn't that extravagant.
Right.
He killed some people. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I have Revenge of the Sith at 6. I guess, if I had to pick a favorite prequel, it would be that one. It was more, I guess, a little more Star Wars-y to me.
Yeah.
Than the other two were. But, again, just very CGI heavy. That was another reason why I had Phantom Menace above Attack of the Clones. Phantom Menace, they were at least in real locations sometimes. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith, more CGI heavy stuff. But I guess it would be my favorite of the 3 just because you're finally, because it's over. Because you're
finally
you're wrapping up the story. This is how he becomes Darth Vader. The tension between him and Obi-Wan was okay.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen was not great in that movie.
Yeah.
Ian McGregor did with what he had, what he could.
Yeah.
So it works all right. That fight goes on for like 8 hours though. Mm-hmm. So overall, like, not really great. Probably my favorite out of the prequels.
So for 6 for me, I have Attack of the Clones. Just because, in my opinion at least, like, the whole movie wasn't terrible. Mm-hmm. It was saved by the scene where they fight the monsters, because that kicks off the whole, like, climax and falling action. So it's like, yeah, when they fought the beast, like, it wasn't, like, super long, but then right after the Jedi come in, they have to fight in the arena, Jango Fett dies. Spoiler alert. Then they go right in to them trying to stop them from leaving. Yeah. And they try to get Dooku with... Wasn't the plans? He had the Death Star plans, didn't he? Something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, like, they tried to get the plans...
Well, did they know about that? They didn't know about that.
I don't know. I guess they didn't.
They just wanted to stop them, I guess.
Yeah. So they just wanted to stop them. Mm-hmm. The huge battle ensues. Like, for me, that was the saving grace of the movie. Like, this intensive battle in the end... And that saved it for me. I'm just a big sucker for good battle scenes,
Fair enough. My number 5 is Rogue One. And I do want to say, it is not like it's like Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One.
Yeah.
It is like massive.
Right, yeah.
There's a huge gap between my 5 and my 6. Mm-hmm. Rogue One, stuff that takes it down for me, Gullet. That was dumb. I would have liked to seen the characters hashed out a little more. And what I think hurts it for me was having seen like trailers when they're like running across the beach together with the plans. Mm-hmm. I think there's an original version of the movie where as a team they had to get the plans to the thing to send it off into space, and then maybe they died as they were doing it. What I don't love is the fact that like they got to Scarif and they split up and that was it and they never saw each other again. Yeah. They didn't work as a team in the end of the movie. They worked as a team throughout, but like they didn't have that big epic like
like the team's taking it down.
The team running across the beach as walkers are going after them. Yeah. That you thought you were gonna get because of the trailers. Mm-hmm. Besides that though, the movie definitely has grown on me in multiple watches, and I do think it's solid. Like that doesn't kill the movie for me. I like the action and stuff like that. Darth Vader scene's cool. But,
for me, 5 is Force Awakens. At the time, I loved it, and I think it's because we just hadn't had a Star Wars movie in a while. But rewatching the other 6 and then seeing Rogue One, I was like, it was a good franchise starter. Yeah. It wasn't like let's start something completely new. It was like we're taking off kind of where we left off. Like, you can kind of get a feel for what's happened. The First Orders come here. They built another Death Star that's bigger than the old one. We're going to do a bombing run. We're going to destroy it. And then we're going to kick off the next few movies where Rey, like Luke, finds herself. Then in 3, we're actually going to defeat who our antagonist was from Force Awakens. Not saying it was a terrible movie, just not one of my favorites. It was, in the subpar area for me. I don't know. I think it was a good start.
Number 4, I have Return of the Jedi.
As do I.
We're kind of... Oh, you do as well?
I do.
Oh, look at that.
Huh. I didn't know my own list.
Yeah. We're in the part
of...
Yeah. We're in the part of my list where it's like I love all these movies.
Yeah.
I'm ranking them because if you have to.
Yeah. Realistically, for me, the last 2 were the ones I didn't like.
Yeah. Return of the Jedi, I would still say is one of my favorite movies of all time. Mm-hmm. The reason it comes in at 4 would probably be, I think the Jabba's Palace stuff in the beginning takes a long time.
Yeah, it's super long. It really sets the tone for the whole movie. It's like...
And then the Forest Planet, Endor, kind of takes a while too.
Yeah.
With the Ewoks and stuff like that. I never was one of those people that was like, oh, the Ewoks defeat the Empire. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it for the most part.
Yeah, no, it's like they had help.
But just when we finally get into Luke confronting Vader and Palpatine and all that stuff, that's phenomenal. Some of the best, film.
In the end, it's like, you get the... It's just like everything comes to a head and we have our ending.
Yeah, and I think it's just like some of those laggy parts that bring it down to 4 for me.
Yeah.
But by no means saying it's bad.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I really just liked how everything, like, in the beginning I liked how everybody came back together. The team's back, or the band's back together, But yeah, it was long, it was drawn out. Yeah. You get to the desert scene's long and drawn out. It wasn't like, okay, the fighting happened and we're done. Yeah. It was like, we're going to ramp everything up, we're going to get it there, and then There was like 3 climaxes throughout the movie. Great movie, but then in the end, it was just like
fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't beat it.
Yeah.
But you can.
But you can. My 3 is actually The Force Awakens. I was super hyped when it was in the movie. I thought it was amazing seeing like a good Star Wars for the first time in a while. But with repeat watches, I still really like it. I think I like the characters a lot. It gets criticized because the plot is basically A New Hope, and I agree. Yeah. It's nothing new. They're not reinventing the wheel here. The characters make this movie what it is. I love Rey.
Yeah.
You just connect with her right away, I think. When she's sitting there, pretending she's a pilot, sitting there in the sand. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You connect with her. I like Kylo Ren. I like the idea of a villain that is imperfect. He's
not quite there yet.
He's still learning as well, and I think they pulled off the kind of moody, angsty character they wanted Anakin to be in the prequels.
Yeah, like just starting, like you see, like he's trying really hard to get there,
but he gets pissed. And he throws tantrums and stuff, but like not in a way where like I hate him.
Yeah.
So
for me, I have A New Hope. Once again, I thought it was a great franchise start, and then like watching it again, like you're really understanding the finer points of it. Like watching it for the 45th time. At this
year.
Age. This week. You really start to get into understanding the emotions behind the scenes. And like you're really just getting into it more than when, at least at our age, when we first saw it. You didn't really fully understand the brevity of the situation.
Right.
Or like Luke and his upbringing, and then where he's at now. You know what I mean? Like you never really fully understand. You're like, oh, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
So like that's why for me it was number 3. I thought it was a great movie, but it wasn't 1 or 2.
For me, I do actually have it at 2. When I was a kid, it was my least favorite of the 3 because those are what were out at the time. But as time has gone on, it has grown on me so much. It has pretty much become like my go-to rainy day movie, or even like my go-to like holiday movie. If I just want to throw something on, I'm going to throw on A New Hope. It's Christmas, I'm going to throw on A New Hope. Whatever. It's just like for me, it's become such a go-to movie. I don't think there's literally anything wrong with it. I mean, say what you will about like Vader and Obi-Wan's kind of lame fight. I love it all. I love like seeing the characters interact with each other. Luke and Han, kind of at ends with each other. Han and Leia kind of at ends with each other, but they learn to work as a team and like they appreciate each other as friends. Han comes in and saves the day. That kind of helps with that. Just a great movie.
For my number 2, I have Rogue One, just because I thought it was like a well-balanced movie. You had good comedic relief, good serious notes, good emotional points. The love story was a little lacking, but then in the end they get together, which was actually kind of out of nowhere, I guess. Like you never really see them like
not really. She like mostly
romantically indulging.
She like mostly hates Cassian until he pulls a Han Solo and he's like, "Yeah, I'll help you out."
Yeah, and then that's where it starts. But I mean, I just thought like the character was good. I thought the character development was pretty good. Not Saw Gerrera or Gullet. I could have done without that whole part of the movie, and probably been fine. Just go get the pilot and come back. You know what I mean? But no, I just thought like the whole Scarif ordeal was just great. Like the planning, then on Scarif, you see the Death Troopers, the Sand Troopers. Like I just thought, not the Sand Troopers, the Shore Troopers. I just thought like it was all around. It was just a good movie. They really dove into the Star Wars universe, like pulling out these different enemies and people, and like I just thought it was good that they went more in depth.
What I think is cool about it, just like a little fun fact, so in A New Hope, where they're meeting in that room, Tarkin's kind of laying out plans or whatever, where Vader chokes the one guy, and the one is like, "Oh, your religion, blah blah blah." That line. There's an empty seat in that room. And that empty seat was Krennic's. So they kind of built the idea of this whole character out of that empty seat.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
I like it even more. Not as well as my number 1.
If you haven't figured it out.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Our number 1
Which one's our number 1?
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
A perfect movie in every possible way.
Yes.
My favorite movie of all time.
Obviously mine.
you know, we started a YouTube channel about Star Wars, so...
Yeah. Just so well done. For the time, so well done.
Oh, yeah.
Even now, so well done.
Ahead of its time, you know, effects-wise, obviously. The emotional depth of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen this movie a million times, and, like, Han and Leia, I love you, I know, gets me every time. I, like, feel something. Not, like, bawling my eyes out.
some type of way.
Yeah, but I'm just like, this is good.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I just love the antagonist chase. Like, he follows him to Hoth, and then he follows him on, and, like, the whole movie, it's like he's right behind him.
And he does finally get them.
Exactly.
You know? And you don't expect it, but, like, you know, they walk into that dining room in Cloud
Exactly.
City.
And just when you think, like, they're gone, it's like, no.
Well, and how cool is that scene? Like, just like a little moment. I love that scene in the movie, because they walk in, first of all, there's Vader, and the first thing Han does is pull out his gun and try to shoot him. It's awesome.
And then the biggest, like, plot twist in movie history.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't beat it.
You know, that has become such like a pop culture staple. Everyone knows that Darth Vader's Luke's father now. But imagine that at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like you had no idea that this was it.
Yeah.
Like, you're in the movie theater, and you're like, what?
I read something recently. I believe Mark Hamill was the only person that knew that.
Really?
Yeah. Because even the guy in the Vader suit, you know, because they have a guy in Vader's suit, and James Earl Jones would do the voiceovers. His line on set was, "I killed your father." So even on set,
so he had
no one knew. So Mark Hamill was literally the only one that knew, and James Earl Jones.
Yeah, and George Lucas.
Yeah.
But yeah, just Empire Strikes Back was just such a good movie, well done, twist at every corner, every turn. Like, it was just...
You get Yoda, you get a bigger understanding of the Force and how it works.
Yeah, midichlorians.
Yeah.
So just to reiterate my list, from 1 to 8, Empire, Rogue One, New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace.
Yeah, and mine would be The Empire Strikes Back, New Hope, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones.
Yes. So, all in all, I feel like most people could have the same outlook, or around that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people that I've talked to have said Empire Strikes Back is probably their most favorite movie, unless you're under the age of 15.
Yeah, there's like a weird generation of people that are really fighting for the prequels lately. So, whatever. I don't agree.
then there's going to be one that fights for the sequels.
Yeah.
But in the end, we're still here and you're still watching. All 5 of you.
Yeah, mate. So, that's it.
Follow us on the media, subscribe, like it. I'm Brooks.
I'm Joe.
And this is Cantina Reviews.
Okay, so let's
For me, I have an...